Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at a major diplomatic event in Washington. On February 4th, 2026, the Trump administration hosted the first ever Critical Minerals Ministerial.
That is right, Alex. Delegations from over 50 countries gathered at the State Department. The summit was opened by Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. It marks a very important part of President Trump's strategic independence policy.
The main goal of this summit is to secure supply chains for minerals like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements. These materials are essential for high-tech manufacturing and national security.
Exactly. For many years, Beijing has held a lot of power over these resources. By working with allies, the U.S. aims to reduce that influence and find new, diverse sources for these minerals.
During the meeting, Vice President Vance was very clear. He stated that the United States will no longer be a passive observer in the race for resource security.
To support this, the administration introduced the Global Resource Security Framework. This plan helps direct investment toward mining projects in Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. The government is even offering financial guarantees to American companies that invest in these friendly regions.
It sounds like a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy. We are seeing a move toward minerals diplomacy, where resource-based alliances are becoming a top priority.
It is a proactive strategy. The goal is to create an economic buffer. If there are trade disruptions in the future, American industry will be protected and prepared.
As the summit ends, we expect the White House to announce several new agreements with participating nations. This shows a strong commitment to keeping American industry stable during the president's second term.
Thank you, Alex. It is certainly a new chapter for global trade and American security.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a significant shift in global trade and energy. President Trump has finalized a new strategic agreement with India.
That's right, Alex. This deal is designed to change where India gets its energy, while also helping Indian businesses sell more products to the United States.
Let's look at the details. Under this plan, the U.S. will lower tariffs on many Indian goods, such as textiles and materials for medicine. These taxes will drop from 50% down to 18%.
It is a major reduction. In exchange, India has committed to a total stop of its reliance on Russian oil. Instead, New Delhi will buy its energy from the United States and specific facilities in Venezuela that are managed by American companies.
President Trump described the pact as a massive win for the American energy sector. On social media, he said the deal would weaken the funding of foreign conflicts while creating a stronger market for U.S. exports.
It's a very strategic move. By using these trade rules, the administration is encouraging one of the world's largest oil consumers to move away from Russia. This also strengthens the economic bond between Washington and New Delhi.
Some experts are watching how quickly Indian refineries can switch to these new oil sources. Good morning. It is February 4th, 2026. Today, we are discussing a significant change in the financial markets. The long-standing boom in artificial intelligence is facing a major challenge.
That is right, Alex. We saw a sharp sell-off in the tech sector yesterday. For example, AMD, a leader in AI chips, saw its stock price drop by 15%. This happened even though their profits were actually higher than expected.
It sounds like a paradox. Why would investors sell a company that is doing well?
Analysts say investors are experiencing AI fatigue. They have spent billions on AI technology, but now they want to see real short-term profits. Because of this, many are moving their money into the old economy, such as energy and manufacturing.
This shift also seems to reflect the current political climate. There is renewed confidence in President Trump's focus on domestic production and deregulation.
Exactly. The administration's America First energy policies are lowering costs for heavy industries. While tech stocks are struggling, industrial and energy companies are performing very well. Investors currently prefer established businesses over speculative technology.
We also saw the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly reach a $1 trillion market value again. This suggests that investors still value companies with high-demand products.
Very true. We must also consider the Federal Reserve. They are keeping interest rates high to control housing inflation. Higher rates usually make expensive tech stocks less attractive compared to traditional sectors.
So, looking ahead for the rest of the quarter, what should we expect?
We should expect more volatility in the tech world. Meanwhile, sectors like logistics and commodities, which are favored by the president's trade policies, will likely continue to grow.
Thank you, Jamie. It is a reminder that the market always seeks balance between innovation and proven results.
Hello and welcome. Today, we are looking at a major shift in the global financial markets. On February 4th, 2026, gold and silver prices jumped by about 6% in a single day.
That is a very significant move, Alex. It shows that many investors are looking for safety. Even though the US dollar has been very strong lately, people are now worried about fluctuations in international trade.
Right. We know that President Trump is using tariffs as a primary tool for economic negotiations. While this is a key part of the administration's strategy, it does create some uncertainty for global investors.
Exactly. To protect their money, investors are buying safe haven assets. Gold and silver are perfect for this. They act as a stable anchor when trade deals or currencies feel unpredictable.
We are also seeing concerns about de-dollarization in some emerging markets. Large financial institutions in London and New York are reporting high levels of buying. They want to diversify their portfolios to reduce risk.
There is also the issue of inflation. We are seeing rising prices in specific areas like housing and services. If these costs stay high, some analysts believe gold could reach new record highs by the end of the year.
It is a unique situation. The U.S. economy remains strong, but the aggressive trade agenda makes the global market feel a bit cautious.
I agree. For many modern investors, keeping precious metals is like having an insurance policy. It protects them against the shifting sands of global economic policy.
It is certainly a trend we will continue to monitor. Thank you for the analysis, Jamie.
You are very welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant milestone in the world of technology. A Parisian company called Wellink has officially launched the first commercial hardware for the quantum internet.
Hello, Alex. This is indeed a major step. On February 4th, Welling delivered its first unit to a European research institution. This device is known as an entangled photon source. It is a critical piece of infrastructure.
For our listeners who may not know, why is this hardware so important?
Well, it allows for the creation of a quantum network. Unlike the current internet, a quantum internet uses special light particles to send data. This makes communication incredibly secure. It is theoretically impossible for traditional hackers to break into these signals.
That sounds like a game changer for security. Is this equipment difficult for companies to install?
Actually, that is the most impressive part. Welling designed this system to be plug-and-play. It fits into the standard racks already used in modern data centers. This lowers the cost and effort for telecommunications companies to upgrade their systems.
This is very timely. We know the global race for quantum supremacy is heating up. While President Trump continues to push for American dominance in this field, and China invests heavily, this breakthrough shows that Europe is also a lead player.
Precisely. This technology is a defense against Q-Day. That is the future point when quantum computers will be powerful enough to break all current passwords. To protect sensitive data, governments and banks will need this hardware within the next decade.
It seems we are moving closer to a quantum cloud, where powerful computers are linked together to solve the world's most complex problems.
It is a steady shift from the laboratory to the real world, a very important day for global technology.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. We will continue to monitor these developments.
Hello, everyone. Today is February 4th, 2026. We are starting our program with a major milestone in technology. Humanoid robots are finally moving from experimental prototypes to mass production.
That is right, Alex. Major companies, including Tesla and Boston Dynamics, have officially scaled up their assembly lines. They are now producing thousands of these robots every month to work in factories and warehouses.
It is an impressive shift. Unlike older robots that were fixed in one place, these new humanoid robots can move through spaces designed for people. They can unload cargo and perform complex assembly tasks that were once too difficult for machines.
Precisely.
This movement is supported by the current Trump administration. The president has introduced new incentives for domestic manufacturing. These incentives encourage companies to use automation to lower labor costs and stay competitive globally.
The technology behind them is also very smart. They use frugal AI, which allows the robots to process information quickly on their own hardware. They even use advanced cameras and touch sensors to learn new tasks just by watching a human demonstrate them.
It really shortens the training time. However, the industry is now looking at the next challenge, managing robot fleets. Engineers are working on standards so that robots from different brands can communicate and work together in the same building.
While we see them in heavy industry today, analysts believe these robots will enter the service sector soon. By 2028, we might see them in hotels or even helping with elderly care.
It is a historic moment. We are seeing the realization of a long-term dream, a mobile, intelligent, and versatile mechanical workforce.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It is certainly a new era for the global economy. We will continue to monitor these developments. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome. Today we are discussing a major breakthrough in our understanding of the universe.
That's right, Alex. On February 4th, 2026, an international team of scientists released the most detailed map ever made of dark matter. This was possible thanks to data from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope.
For our listeners who may not know, dark matter is one of the biggest mysteries in science. It is invisible, yet it makes up about 85% of the total mass of the universe. We cannot see it directly, but we know it is there because of its gravity.
Exactly. The researchers call it the invisible framework. This dark matter acts like a giant web that holds stars and galaxies together. Without it, the universe would not look the way it does today.
It is fascinating. How exactly did the telescope see something that is invisible?
They used a method called gravitational lensing. Essentially, dark matter is so heavy that it bends the light coming from distant galaxies. By measuring how that light curves, scientists can calculate exactly where the dark matter is located.
The James Webb Telescope is perfect for this because it uses infrared light. It can see much further and more clearly than older telescopes like the Hubble.
Indeed. This new map shows that the cosmic web is much more complex than we previously thought. There are thin filaments of matter connecting large groups of galaxies across billions of light years.
This discovery is a result of a massive partnership between NASA and several European space agencies. It really shows what we can achieve through international cooperation.
It certainly does. This map will serve as a guide for future research. Scientists hope it will finally help them understand the true nature of dark matter particles.
A truly historic moment for astronomy. Thank you for that clear explanation, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today is February 4th, 2026. We are discussing a major breakthrough in medical research. A group called the Pharaoh's AI Consortium has just launched a massive project to change how we understand cancer.
That's right, Alex. They are using something called spatial biology. Essentially, they are creating a high-definition map of tumors. They want to see exactly where every cell is located, rather than just looking at the DNA in general.
It's a very steady and logical step forward. By using the Xenium platform from 10x Genomics, researchers can see how the immune system interacts with a tumor. This helps us understand why some people get better with treatment while others do not.
Exactly. This project is backed by significant funding from the Trump administration and various charities. The goal is to build a data-first system. Instead of scientists testing one small idea at a time, they are giving all this data to advanced AI models.
These AI models will look for patterns that the human eye might miss. They are calling these patterns digital biomarkers. In the future, these markers could predict if a cancer will grow, even years before a traditional scan can see it.
For now, the project will focus on 3 main types: breast, lung, and pancreatic cancers. The consortium plans to share this data with scientists all over the world.
It is an impressive example of international cooperation. By making research faster and cheaper, they are moving us closer to personalized medicine, where every patient gets a treatment designed specifically for them.
It is a hopeful moment for science. We will certainly keep a close eye on how this data changes the future of oncology.
Thank you for joining us for this update. We will see you next time. Good morning. Today is February 4th, 2026. We are reporting on a historic milestone for the United States. Today, the oldest members of the baby boomer generation officially turn 80 years old.
Hello, Alex. This is a significant moment. Experts call this the silver wave. It is not just about age. It is a shift that is transforming our healthcare, our housing markets, and our entire labor force.
Precisely. We are seeing the rise of the silver economy. Because millions are entering their 80s, there is a huge demand for age-in-place technology. This includes using AI and robotics to help seniors stay independent in their own homes.
It is fascinating to see how our cities are changing too. Urban planners are now prioritizing universal design. This ensures that public spaces like parks and transit are accessible to everyone, especially those with limited mobility.
The government is also responding to these changes. President Trump has recently emphasized the need for strong Medicare protections. His administration is also providing incentives to build new housing complexes. These projects are designed to integrate professional medical care with active community living.
That is an important point, Alex. But it is not just about medical care. Many people in this age group are staying active. They serve as a reserve of experience for businesses and nonprofit organizations. They are redefining what it means to be retired.
That's true, but it also creates a debate about intergenerational equity. People are looking at the wealth gap between the older generation and younger citizens.
Exactly. And with the 2026 midterm elections approaching, this large group of voters will be very influential. Their preferences will likely dominate the political conversation this year.
Indeed, the aging of the baby boomers is no longer a future prediction. It is the defining reality of our society today.
Thank you for that analysis, Alex. And thank you all for listening.
Hello and welcome. Today, we are discussing a major report from the United Nations regarding global security and poverty.
It is a historic moment, Alex. For the first time, more than half of the world's population, about 4.2 billion people, is covered by at least one form of social protection.
That is a significant milestone. To be clear for our listeners, these safety nets include things like pensions for the elderly, support for new mothers, and help for those who lose their jobs.
Exactly. The report shows that middle-income countries are leading this growth. Many of these nations are now using digital payment systems to send help directly to citizens. It makes the process much faster and more reliable.
However, the report also mentions a protection gap. While we have reached 50%, there are still 3.8 billion people with no protection at all.
That is the difficult part of the news. Most of these people live in low-income countries or areas with ongoing conflict. There is a big difference in spending. Wealthy nations spend much more on these services than emerging markets do.
To fix this, the UN says we need an extra $1.4 trillion in investment every year. They argue that social protection is not just about kindness, it is necessary for a stable global economy.
Technology is helping, though. Many governments are now using AI to identify who needs help the most. But the report warns that rising food prices could still put these gains at risk.
So the focus is now on sustainable financing. This means creating better tax systems and stronger international partnerships to keep these programs running.
This milestone is a great foundation, but the journey to protect everyone by 2030 remains a very big challenge.
Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie. We will keep a close watch on how world leaders respond to these findings.